They laughed first. A galaxy of eyes, 7 colors flashing in unison, trained on the tiny blue dot called Earth. The alien observers, sleek, spindly things with exoskeletons that shimmered like oil on water, mocked the humans as fragile, pitiful, barely worth noticing. Captain Korik of the Vexor Dominion waved a clawed hand and barked a laugh that echoed across the observation deck. "They call this a war-capable species?" he hissed, teeth glinting under the harsh lights. "Look at their muscle mass. Look at their bones. Pathetic." From orbit, the humans seemed insignificant, nothing more than colored specks scuttling across continents. "Observe their fear," Korik said, leaning over the railing. "They will cower like insects. Nothing more." But on the ground, Sergeant Elena Drake ignored the Dominion's comms chatter. Her grip tightened around the cargo crate she carried, muscles coiling under the weight. Inside was the most valuable cargo her squad could transport, Captain Jason Hart, a man who had survived 3 orbital bombardments, 2 mutinies, and 1 disastrous peace summit with the insected Clavari. He was more than a man. He was a symbol of humanity's stubborn heart, the pulse of a species that refused to die quietly. The Dominion didn't know humans. Humans didn't need permission to terrify. A shadow stretched across the horizon. The Dominion's landing pod hissed open, disgorging the first wave of shock troops, slick, multi-limbed monsters with acid-tipped spears that could pierce steel like paper. Elena squinted, assessing the threat. They moved like predators confident in victory. She checked her squad. Each human looked small, underarmed, and expendable. But there was something in their eyes, a fire the Dominion had never calculated. "Ready?" she whispered. The nods she received were grim, fierce, unwavering. Elena hoisted the crate again, muscles screaming. Captain Hart's gaze met hers, calm as ever. "You really think you can lift me over that ridge while under fire?" he asked, voice steady, teasing. "Watch me," she said. And the first shots tore the silence apart. The first shots tore through the morning air, ripping dust and stone into clouds that stung the eyes. Dominion plasma rounds hissed as they slammed into craters, exploding rocks like miniature suns. Humans ducked, rolled, and returned fire, not with finesse but with raw, brutal efficiency. The aliens moved like predators, confident in their superiority. The humans moved like chaos made flesh. Elena staggered forward, carrying Hart on her back like he was a rucksack, sprinting through the smoking wreckage. Every step sent fire through her legs. Her lungs burned. Her vision narrowed, but she didn't falter. Her squad flanked her, rifles snapping, knives flashing. The Dominion's laughter died almost immediately, replaced by stunned confusion as one of their officers tumbled backward, impaled by a human-thrown knife spinning with deadly precision. "Humans," Korik hissed into his communicator. "Their coordination, it defies all logic." Impossible indeed. The humans were unpredictable. They fought in ways no algorithm could model, one moment absent from the front lines, the next ramming a Dominion war machine, wrenching circuitry free with bare hands and sheer momentum. Every attack was a question and an answer at once. "Can you stop us?" "No." Elena leapt onto a ridge, boots sinking into loose stone. She set Hart down for a fraction of a second. He rose, surprisingly spry, and grabbed a Dominion energy grenade from the ground. Together, they hurled it into a cluster of shock troops. The explosion erupted like a miniature supernova, throwing bodies and debris into the air. Screams tore across the battlefield. The humans cheered, a wild, feral sound that made the Dominion hesitate. Korik bared his teeth. "They are not supposed to do this." No, they weren't. The Dominion had never seen the subtle genius of human improvisation. Humans were chaotic, yet every chaotic move carried lethal intent. Elena bent, lifting Hart again. Sweat stung her eyes. "Time to show them what muscle and madness look like," she growled. Plasma rounds splashed against stone around them. Sparks flew from fractured machines. Dominion soldiers lunged with claws and blades, only to find themselves thrown off balance by a sudden human charge. Every step Elena took was a statement. Humans did not yield, did not calculate, did not fear death. They embraced it as part of the plan. And the Dominion, arrogant and unprepared, could only watch as the impossible unfolded before them. By mid-afternoon, the battlefield was unrecognizable, a twisted graveyard of shredded armor, sparking machinery, and alien bodies. The Dominion assumed they were still in control, but humans had learned their rhythm, their arrogance, their blind confidence. And humans had ideas. Captain Hart pointed toward the flagship hovering above the chaos, massive, gleaming, untouchable, or so the Dominion believed. "We can't destroy it directly," he said, voice low, eyes sharp. "Too much firepower." "But," he smirked, "we can lift it." Elena's laugh was almost maniacal. "You mean, like I lift you?" "Yes," Hart said. "Exactly like that." The humans formed a tight line. They scoured the battlefield, hauling debris, alien machinery, even fallen Dominion soldiers, stacking them into makeshift scaffolding beneath the ship's gravity stabilizers. Sparks hissed, engines groaned, but the humans pushed forward, undeterred. Coric's claws clenched. "This is impossible!" he shrieked. "They cannot!" Elena hoisted Hart above her head, muscles straining as if gravity itself had no claim over her. She strode forward like a predator, unyielding, unstoppable. Dominion soldiers froze, their instincts screaming that this was not natural. Shock rippled through their ranks. Humans weren't supposed to lift their captains over obstacles in the middle of combat. They weren't supposed to stack debris and destabilize enemy ships. They weren't supposed to laugh in the face of annihilation. And yet here they were. With a final, titanic heave, the human formation slammed the improvised platform against the ship's stabilizers. Sparks cascaded like fireworks, engines screamed, and the flagship shuddered. It tilted, then began an uncontrolled descent. Coric's howl echoed across the battlefield as his pride, his power, and his flagship crashed into the ground in a shower of smoke and fire. The humans didn't cheer. They simply moved, calm, precise, lethal, waiting for any remaining threat to react. They were predators in their own right, terrifying in ways no simulation, no strategy, no arrogance could have predicted. Coric was thrown from his command post, sprawling into the dust. For the first time, he realized humans were not a problem to be calculated. They were a force of nature, and nature could not be reasoned with. By nightfall, the Dominion's forces were scattered, broken, or captured. The few survivors limped toward escape pods, eyes wide with disbelief. They had come expecting to cull humanity like pests. They had found monsters. Elena stood atop a ridge, Jason Hart resting on her shoulders for the final stretch, a gesture both symbolic and defiant. Sparks from wrecked machinery flickered around them, casting long shadows across the cratered landscape. Hart patted her shoulder. "I think you just set a new interstellar record," he said, smiling despite the grime and sweat. "Or demolished a few dozen alien egos," she replied, voice low, dangerous, satisfied. Coric groaned in the dirt below, humiliated and broken, his claws trembling. The Dominion Council would argue for centuries over what had gone wrong. Some blamed hubris. Some blamed Earth's muscle anomalies. Few dared admit the truth. It was human ingenuity, human audacity, human chaos that had won the day. In the quiet aftermath, humans triaged their wounds, scavenged what tech they could, and rebuilt what needed rebuilding. Hart looked to the horizon, stars glimmering silently above the smoking battlefield. A species that had once been underestimated now had a story that would echo across galaxies. "Will they come back?" Elena asked, cleaning her rifle, her hands still steady despite the exhaustion. "Of course," Hart said. "But next time, they'll remember. Earth doesn't just fight back. We lift. We break. We survive. And we make it look effortless." Humans laughed softly, a low, dangerous chuckle that carried across the cratered field. It was a sound the Dominion would never forget, a sound that spoke of stubborn defiance, raw strength, and an intelligence no alien simulation could predict. The galaxy had underestimated them once. Never again. And the weight of one human lifting another, that was the first lesson no alien would ever forget.